Hi, I'm Linda Noriega, Chairwoman of the Water Quality Authority Board of Directors. Our primary purpose is to clean up the contamination in our groundwater basin. Our 7 board member is comprised of 1 individual from each of the overlying municipal water districts. 1 member is from a city with pumping rights, 1 is from a city without water pumping rights, and 2 members represent the producers in the San Gabriel Basin. I represent California Domestic Water Company, a water producer in the basin that represents the San Gabriel Valley Water Association on the WQA board. The association unites water stakeholders in the San Gabriel Valley to review, educate, and advocate for federal and state legislative efforts that promote sufficient water supply and delivery of water that meets water quality standards on behalf of the more than 60 cities, public agencies, investor-owned utilities, and mutual water companies responsible for the management of groundwater replenishment and cleanup. To my role as the WQA board, I have worked with the water industry for nearly 25 years, and I bring my perspective and experience from many aspects of groundwater management, including water system operations, water quality management, fiscal prudence, governance and regulatory matters, and administrative and policy implementation. The WQA has done a tremendous job coordinating the cleanup of the San Gabriel Basin. As a result, the basin is portrayed as a model for other areas experiencing widespread groundwater contamination, and the WQA is a clear leader in the remediation facilitation. I'm honored to be a part of the WQA mission to safeguard this vital drinking water source. The 3 top priorities of the WQA board are: 1, continue to work with congressional representatives, the Bureau of Reclamation, California state legislators, and the state regulatory agencies to access and acquire funding for groundwater cleanup projects that can be applied for by the groundwater purveyors of the main San Gabriel Basin to ease the financial burden of ratepayers to remediate this groundwater supply that is essential to more than 2 million residents and businesses in the San Gabriel Valley. WQA has been extremely successful with this over the past few years, and we need to continue keeping that primary goal within reach. Second, expand the local education outreach efforts started by the current members of the Board of Directors, Director Valerie Munoz and Director Robert Gonzalez, and the WQA Executive Management Team. Both of these board members and the WQA staff have done a great job educating the public on the purpose of the WQA. Their efforts have primarily focused on the local city councils within the San Gabriel Valley, and they have put a face to the name of WQA. However, with former Congresswoman Grace Napolitano retiring, who was a senior-ranking congressional member on various committees pertaining to water, and with various state legislators nearing their term limits, it will be imperative to focus educating the new members about the WQA at both the federal and state levels so we continue to fulfill our mission of acquiring the necessary funding to remediate, restore the water quality of the groundwater basin. Third, broaden our understanding and impacts of PFAS on the basin's groundwater supply and learn how federal standards and state regulatory environment will impact the water purveyors. PFAS is relatively new, and it was just regulated by the US EPA. What is understood is that it will cost a significant amount of money to clean up the contamination because the treatment technologies are not cheap. There is a current nationwide litigation matter where the responsible parties for PFAS contamination are in settlement discussions and negotiations. WQA and several purveyors within the San Gabriel Valley are participating in these settlement discussions. However, the amounts received by the various water agencies in potential settlement awards will not be nearly enough to remediate the entire groundwater basin. Therefore, it will be important for the board and the executive management team to remain focused on the efforts of the state to regulate PFAS and to continue to advocate for PFAS-specific funding at both the federal and state levels. Our greatest need is continued funding. Our board will continue to work with the WQA staff and our legislative lobbyists to foster relationships with our state and federal legislators and to garner money from those deemed responsible for the contamination. We must not let the cost burden fall on the local ratepayers, and we must ensure a safe drinking water supply for future generations.